It was an encouraging week in the world of sports. First, Gavin Newsom said sports can return in California on June 1st. Second, Andrew Cuomo said athletes can return immediately to their facilities in New York. So, what does all this mean for his baseball? The 4th of July, the perfect opening weekend for America's pastime. But will the Rockets' red glare or fizzle out? While the league and players have sticking points in health and safety pertaining to COVID-19, among the new proposed rules, no spitting. Giants manager Gabe Kapler says it will be a habit hard to break.
It's going to be hard when things get stressful not to default to that habit, but I can tell you this, everybody's going to be committed to doing it because it's so worth it. The trade-off between giving up that habit and getting to play baseball. We'll play baseball all day long.
Those issues do not appear to be serious. Rather, it is the 50-50 revenue split that might keep them from playing ball at all.
We'd be willing to share with you whatever it is we do make. Well, what do you guys make? We can't tell you that much, but we would just like for you to jump on board and take these losses with us.
Owners claim they will lose $640,000 per game, a figure almost impossible to verify. The players view any form of revenue split as a salary cap.
If I'm going to play, I should be getting the money I signed to be getting paid. I should not be getting half of what I'm getting paid because the season's cut in half.
Fans struggling to make ends meet might not be sympathetic to Snell's point of view. A pitcher in the second year of a 5-year, $50 million contract.
Players need to understand that if they turn this deal down and shut the sport down, they're not making a cent.
If people are chomping at the bit to see that and to have that in their lives, but then it doesn't happen because of money issues, that's going to be a problem. That's going to turn a lot of people off. Now, will it be to the extent of the strike in '94? I don't know.
USA Today writer Bob Nightengale calling the '94 strike the most embarrassing moment in Major League history. When the players came back, the fans did not come with them. TV ratings were abysmal, and it took years for the game to recover. The fireworks are firing off right now in negotiations. Will they be there on 4th of July? One thing seems certain. If baseball does not return, it won't be because of COVID-19. Joining us now is Bob Nightengale, writer for the USA Today on baseball from his home in Arizona. Bob, first of all, what's the latest in the negotiations between the owners and players?
Well, they went over the agreement, the economic part of it, on Friday with the Owners and Labor Committee. On Tuesday, they're going to present it to all the owners. They'll vote on it, and then they'll give it to the union on Tuesday afternoon. So it'll be some kind of variation of a revenue sharing plan, pretty much just to reduce the salary a little bit more, because the owners say unless the players reduce their salary, they're going to be losing money every game's played.
Is the 50-50 revenue split going to change?
Yeah, it will change. I wouldn't be surprised if the owners say, here, hey, it's 52-48, your favor, something like that. Or maybe they just work out a percentage, a little bit more of a reduction in salary from what they're already making. And obviously they're only going to make about half as much as they thought they were going to, since it's only 82-game season and not 162 games.
So players have criticized the owners for using COVID-19 to their advantage. You believe that?
Yeah, I don't believe that. I mean, nobody wants to see this thing the way it's gone. I mean, baseball is making a mint. Now baseball is not going to make a mint this year. So, hey, the owners, if they want to play, they can say we're going to close our doors or play ball. We'll see. This is a big week. I think they have, 10 days, 2 weeks, really, of negotiations if they still want to get an 82-game season and have it finish up by the end of last week of October, first week of November.
You talked about a possible second wave. That's everybody's concern. In terms of the safety guidelines, that huge proposal owners put out, are the players and the owners on the same page in terms of the safety guidelines?
They are. The players want a little bit more relaxed rules in the sense where, hey, if you're in another city, it's okay to go out to a restaurant, that sort of thing. Maybe, hey, it's okay to shower in the clubhouse, some hydrotherapy before and after games. But by and large, I think both sides realize they're both looking out for each other's best interest.
It's not a good look for the players and owners not to come to an agreement during COVID-19 when other people are losing their livelihood. You think that's they're cognizant of that, and does that put pressure on them to get a deal?
Yeah, so there's pressure. It's a terrible look. If everything was set and cities are opening up and everything else, and baseball is not played because of financial reasons, I think it would look worse than what happened in '94 with the World Series being canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can't really, people on both sides can't cry about money too much, when there's 35, 36 million Americans out of work. So that's why I'd be shocked if we're not playing here in July.
What length of spring training will be satisfactory to the players?
Well, it's going to be 3 weeks. I think both sides are going to agree on that. You don't want to go too much longer just because the longer the spring training is, nobody gets paid. And 3 weeks is about the minimum you can do safety-wise. So, the biggest concern is only the starting pitchers. The position players will be fine. The relief pitchers will be fine. The starting pitchers, that's why they're probably going to expand to about a 30-man roster, a 20-man taxi, just because they know those starting pitchers won't quite be ready.
Okay, what's your gut feeling after covering it on a daily basis, talking with the players and the owners? Will there be baseball on July 4th weekend?
I think there will be. I mean, right now with the states opening up and things like that, there's a lot of ball players who are back at stadiums working out. They want to be working out if they weren't optimistic about restarting here. The owners want it badly. You talk to players, they're ready to go. So I'm very optimistic. I would say, 90-10, we're going to be playing baseball. I think the only thing that would stop it is if something unforeseen happened, health reasons wise.
Bob, thanks a lot.
Sure. Look forward to seeing you again soon, Dennis. Take care, buddy.